And the more that they rejected me, the stronger my faith became. Because I took the words of Whitney Houston directly to heart when I was a kid. The greatest love of all is inside of me. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I lived as I believed. No matter what they take from me, they cannot take away my dignity. And when I realized that I had been giving my dignity away, instead of being a cowed dog in the corner, and I stood up for myself a little bit, everyone rejected it. Nobody liked it. They wanted to put everything onto me, all their opinions, all their behaviors, all their beliefs. But they didn't want me to stand up for myself, let alone put it back. I had even a customer in my shop one day, and she would always come in and just like all this negativity and spewing. And then one day, I gave this much back to her, and she said, when I come in here, I don't want this energetically. And I said, then you don't have to come in here anymore. And she, got an attitude and left. And I was like, why is it okay for everybody to believe that they can shit on everyone else? But if somebody says no or they give it back, then it's like a narcissist explosion. Me standing up for myself and trying to protect myself cost me my family because I wouldn't let them keep the cycle going. I wouldn't take the narcissism. And it wasn't even for me. It was that they did it to my partner. And I wouldn't accept that. They were so used to doing it to me that they thought, oh, I'm going to let them do it to someone else. No. It cost me my partner because I wouldn't tolerate poor behavior towards me or others. And now it's costing me my faith and my belief system because I'm not going to keep being kinder and better to everyone and everything and have nothing for myself. It's the most absurd thing I have ever encountered. And it's like we don't even live in the same reality. If you've ever been a victim of narcissistic abuse, then you would be able to relate to a lot of the stories that I have. Even I shared recently that a few days after I greeted my mom on her birthday, 2 days later, she sends me the nastiest message with a photo, all this dramatics saying that, oh, whatever made you, I think she said abandon your family, must be evil. I wish there was something we could do to fix it. Accountability. But you won't do that. Anytime I've come to them with any accountability, it's like pouring, vinegar on baking soda. Just boil over, just project and flip out, hoping that the other person will shut up, that they'll forget what's really at the core, and just scream and holler and do all this stuff. And it's like, it's not even about me. It's about Donald Trump multiple times. And me having personal experiences with him in Hanoi. And my sister had convinced me to trust my parents and to accept something from them. And in just being friendly, just sharing a story. And I said, both times he's been here, I ended up like 30 feet from him somehow and almost broke out into hives. And then my mom replied, something, something, Joe Biden. I almost broke out into hives. She had no experience with him. But it was just narcissistic, childish, abusive behavior. Project, project, project. I can't even share a real personal story and how I felt. And you're going to choose a politician who doesn't care about you at all over your child. And then because I shared that story, whatever they wanted to do didn't happen. And my sister, just as usual, just sat back and just lets it happen. She never stands up for anybody. And that time they had involved my partner, and that was it for me. I was not going to allow him, first, to see how toxic the behavior and cycles were, and secondly, to be disappointed and hurt by the people that had disappointed and hurt me over and over and over and over and over again. On purpose. And who would accept zero accountability. And they say you have to be really wary of people who are close to people or support people that have hurt your mom. And the one thing that my mom has always said is that I have the most loyalty, and it's absolutely true. But my sister, no matter who hurt my mom, don't limit anyone, don't speak up, don't say anything. And I'm sure that it's a trauma response. I'm not faulting her. I'm not here to talk bad about my family. I'm here to talk about the reality of what it means when you stand up for yourself against narcissists, against abusers, and against people who do not care more about what's right than they do about protecting themselves or their beliefs or what they just think or feel. And all it took from anyone was a little bit of accountability or an apology, as I've discussed in another video. But that was never going to happen. And this year, my mom attacked me after her birthday, spewing all this stuff. She must have taken her Ambien and not gone to sleep on time. And just, as narcissists do, they want any kind of attention. They don't care if it's good or bad. And they want to trigger you. Because when they trigger you and you react, that's their confirmation that you are still energetically accessible to them. I didn't reply to her because I received that message the first day that I ever started to heal after years of grief and abuse and pain from every imaginable source. I didn't reply. I didn't say anything. So I greet you on your birthday with kindness. You attack me, and then my birthday was just last week, and I didn't receive any greeting because I'm the villain. I'm the villain because I will not allow people to abuse me, diminish me, attack me, and because I won't fight with you, and it's done. It's done with that. It's done with the attack. And in some way, it let me off the hook. I don't have to send the messages anymore. I don't have to do any of that. And I did it because I have been so concerned with the way that the creator of all things, God, viewed me. I've been concerned with the way my angels, my ancestors, my grandfather, my spirit guides, the archangels viewed me. But I don't care anymore. I don't care because no matter what I gave, they just asked for more. Everyone just wanted more. They perceive your kindness as weakness, and like animals that can smell fear, they just want more and more and more and more. And no matter how strong my faith has been, no matter what I have done to protect plants, bugs, animals, people, spirit, no matter what I've done, it was not enough for me to get anything back. The reality is that the stronger my faith became, and the more I followed my intuition and signs, the more I lost. And now the reality is, I don't even know if I can survive another 30 days. I don't know what I'm going to do. I only have a few things that have any perceived value that I'm now trying to sell. And I'm just crashed out. All my faith, my entire belief system, I'm wiping it out because I have to start doing the opposite of everything I've been doing since 2009. Because I was so heartbroken and devastated by someone's actions that it killed me. I really barely survived that. And at the time, I couldn't keep my life together. I couldn't function. I couldn't exist. And so I had to place all of my faith externally, and increasingly so over all these years, that I put my faith in the angels, in signs, in God, in meditation, in prayer. All of my power I externalized. I'm not a people pleaser necessarily, but I did constantly seek approval from God. I constantly made every decision. I overcame my own nature to become the most ideal type of human I could imagine in order to gain approval from God so that I would be provided for. But the more that I did that, the less I was able to bring in for myself. And the only reason I have been able to exist this far in my life is because other people believed in me. Because people like Nikki, Sully, Mylin, Dean, O, kept believing in me and in my spirit and in my power and in my energy. And then I was externalizing that to a higher power instead of me believing in myself the same way they believed in me. I'm going to go to part 3.